your girl Mel again with another video. Thank God. Thank God I came back with another video. I'm so excited to be here. I hope you're so excited to be here. If you have watched any of my previous videos, thank you for watching. I appreciate you so much. And if you can, just subscribe on that link down below, and I will be so excited to bring you more content. It's been a while. I've been on and off on here. And the only reason why is because I never feel like I'm ready. I never feel like I can fully be transparent. I never feel like I can just do it. And so I stop and I lose motivation and I don't want to do it anymore. But I'm back. And hopefully I'm back for good. I think I said that on my last video, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. So today I am going to talk a little bit about something a little bit personal. Let me talk about mental health. And for me, mental health has always been a big thing. Like, it's always been something that's near and dear to my heart. I deal with a lot of diagnoses personally. I know other people who deal with diagnoses, and it's a struggle and we don't talk about it enough. So I'm here to talk about it. I'm here to talk about one of my diagnoses. I kind of want to make this a series and talk about, each one of my diagnoses in different episodes. So hopefully I can get that out to you guys. But I do have a full-length podcast with Let's Talk Podcast by me, of course. I'm the host. And it's on all platforms. And if you can check that out, it's going to be in the description below, so you guys can hear my diagnosis there if you want. You guys can hear my diagnosis there if you want, or if you want a briefing and you want a little bit more detailed of each of my diagnoses, you're more than welcome to stay right here. And the first one that I'm going to start with is PTSD. PTSD is post-traumatic stress disorder, if you don't know, and it is a disorder in which a person has difficulty recovering from a traumatic event. So yes, I read the description, okay? But yes, that's exactly what it is. A traumatic episode happens, a traumatic event happens, and you just get triggered by it. You get anxiety from it. You get depressed from it. Like, there's so many other things that come along with that, and it's just not easy. And the thing is, the reason why I think I was diagnosed, I was diagnosed back in January of 2023. So this is a very new diagnosis for me. I'm still learning about it myself. So I'm going to just read the description of it so you guys can get a better understanding of what it is. So the condition may last months or years, with triggers that can bring back memories of the trauma accompanied by intense emotional and physical reactions. Symptoms may include nightmares or unwanted memories of the trauma, avoidance of situations that bring back memories of the trauma, heightened reactions, anxiety, or depressed mood. Treatment includes different types of trauma-focused psychotherapy as well as medications to manage your symptoms. I'm on medication to manage my symptoms. I also go to therapy to manage my symptoms. The reason why I was diagnosed with it was because last year, 2022, was very difficult for me. I lost my grandmother in June of last year, which it's about to make a year. I lost my grandfather in November of 2022. And I lost my mom November 2022. It didn't hit me when it happened. It didn't hit me. I mean, I was surprised at all three of them, but the one that hit me the most was my mom. And I'm still learning to live with it every day. Every day is a new day. And so it's not that it's been easier being on medication and getting therapy, but it has helped me. I feel like if I didn't get therapy, or if I wasn't on medication, that I wouldn't be able to handle it the way I'm dealing with it. So it's a lot. It's a lot. My depressed moods really, really affect me. Because I already suffer from depression. So now having depression with PTSD, it just makes it worse because I'm living with that trauma every day that she's no longer here. And it's like repetitive. And it's like a roller coaster that you just can't seem to get off. But the medications help with the outbursts of the depressions, like the depressions that really knock me down. The medication helps with that, and the therapy helps with overall depression. I am still dealing with depression really bad, I would say. But I'm trying to find ways to better it. I'm trying to, I go to school now, I do makeup now, I have my own business, I have my own podcast. Like, there's so much going on for me, and I'm just trying to keep busy by staying in the Word of God. Of course, God is first and foremost in my life, and I've gotten closer to Him ever since these things have happened to me. So I was diagnosed in January of 2023, and I think it was because after her passing, I jumped right back into my life. I jumped back into work. I was a mom. I was, going every day with the emotions of just everyday living. Going back into work was the hardest part. And the reason why I say it's the hardest part is because I should have never went back to work. I took off of work when my mom decided to do hospice. And my husband told me, you need to stay with your mom and you need to be with her as much as you possibly can. And so I did that. But then once she passed, I was like, all right, now I want to get back into work. I want to do this. I want to do that. Like, I wanted to do so many different things. And it was because I wanted to block the grieving. I wanted to block feeling anything. So in January 2023, I had a really, really bad mental breakdown. And I talk about this again in my podcast, and I'm going to leave it in the description below so you guys can hear that episode. But I talk about it there, and I basically talk about just how I broke down. I had an episode where I was just really, really angry, and I felt like something was wrong. I was like, something gotta be wrong because I've never been this angry before. And I was on the phone with a friend, and they were even annoying me, and I didn't want to talk to them. And I, tried to cut the conversation short. And once the conversation was over, I ran into my room, I locked the door, and I just sat in my bed, like rocking back and forth, like, Lord, what is wrong with me? Lord, please help me. I'm so angry right now. I need help. I need help. I need help. And it also triggered suicidal thoughts. I was ready to end it all. And my husband came in the room and he asked me what was wrong. And I told him, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this anymore. I just don't. And when I said it out loud, it became real. And when it became real, it became scary. So I then, after telling my husband, I then told him I need to go get help. And he agreed. And we went to the hospital. And what down here in Florida, they call a Baker Act. So a Baker Act is when they hold you for 24 to 72 hours. And they basically keep an eye on you and your mental health and make sure you don't do anything crazy to yourself. And so they Baker Acted me, and they told me that I had to stay in a mental facility for 72 hours. I was there for 5 days. Yeah, I was there for 5 days. So, and that's where I got diagnosed with PTSD. I got diagnosed with PTSD, bipolar depression, generalized anxiety and depression, and schizoaffective disorder. Again, I talk about all of those in my podcast, and I'm going to make a series where I break down each one and I talk about each one. So today is going to be just about the PTSD. They do say that a traumatic event has to happen in your life in order for the PTSD to be triggered. So I could have had this my whole entire life, but was not diagnosed until this severe traumatic event happened in my life. And I'm glad it happened. I'm glad I was diagnosed. I'm glad I'm getting the help I need, because if it wasn't for that, I don't know where I would be right now. And that's the scary part for me. But I'm blessed. I am so blessed, and I thank God every single day that I am here still, and I am learning myself, and I am figuring out my life, and I'm figuring out the things I need to figure out. And it's a learning process. The medicine is not cure. It's not a cure for it. Therapy is not a cure for it. It just helps with the situation. So it's not something that I deal with every single day, but I do have episodes, because that episode was so severe and the anxiety was so through the roof. I have moments where I can't go shopping. I have moments where I don't want to be around friends. I have moments where I don't want to do nothing and I want to lay in bed because I'm scared. I'm scared I'm going to have a severe anxiety attack. I'm scared I'm going to get angry like that again. I'm scared that just something is going to happen. And it's just like, to live like that every day, I have days where it's really, really hard for me. And then I have other days where I'm perfectly fine and nothing's wrong. But the days that are harder, you have to have someone there for you. You have to have a good backbone, because if you don't, you can fall apart. You can fall apart. You need that help. And that's why my therapist is like a phone call away. My medication is on hand. My husband is here. My kids are here. I have all my family that are supporting me throughout this whole situation. And I'm just trying to learn to live with it in a way that I can be okay with going shopping, with going out, with not having to panic all the time. And that comes along with just anxiety on a regular for me. So so to have PTSD, it's like anxiety 2.0. If I was being completely honest with you, that is exactly what it feels like, anxiety 2.0. But yeah, I just really wanted to come on here, talk a little bit about my situation and what I've been through, and I'm trying to make this a series of episodes. So in my next episode, I'm probably going to talk about one of my other diagnoses, either schizoaffective disorder, bipolar 2, or my generalized anxiety and depression. And I'm hoping that I can get through them. And I'm hoping that I can make content for you guys and bring you guys more episodes, because I love YouTube, but my self-esteem and my motivation and that anxiety and depression, they get in the way of that all the time. Because the anxiety is like, what if I do this wrong? What if they don't like it? What if it's this? What if it's that? And I have all these little voices in my head that are constantly telling me, you're not good enough. So it's difficult. It's very difficult to want to do something that you love so much and not be able to do it. And now that I'm in school, now that I'm a business owner, now that I host a podcast, I want to get back into YouTube. And I'm hoping that that's a part of my plan. So I hope you enjoyed this little brief video about what I deal with PTSD. And I hope you stick around and wait for the next video, which should be coming soon. And make sure you guys subscribe, like, dislike if you want to. I mean, the thumbs down is there for a reason. And don't forget, be kind, be present, and be you always. See you guys in the next one. Bye. Oh.